Hi, everyone.
Hi, oh look, another video, and it's only been like 4 days.
We're back. Yeah, you may have noticed that we took like a 6-week break. It might have been the longest break we've ever taken. I'm not positive.
We weren't expected to.
No, it just happened.
Yeah.
It just happened. We were really busy. We were trying to mentally be fine.
Survive. Yeah.
Survive.
We've been surviving out here. That's
Yeah.
the gist of it.
Yes.
And we've been all over. As the videos you'll see soon indicate.
Yes.
We have a fun video coming up about a big trip to Oregon, which we did so many wild things on. So that's coming soon.
Yeah.
This video is about something that happened recently on another trip, something slightly horrifying, nerve-wracking. There's so many adjectives.
This feels like a throwback to our old days. Like, I just can't believe this happened. We didn't film it when it happened. You'll see why. But it's just a great story to be able to tell.
It was one of the things, one of those stories where when I like texted family and friends after to tell them about it, they were like, "That's not real." Like, no. But it happened. And
I'm excited.
Feels like stuff like this only happens to us.
Yeah.
Or more often for us.
Unbelievable.
So here is what happened.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
It's time
To talk
about
our lives.
So let me set the scene. We were at an Embassy Suites, right?
Our favorite hotel chain.
Love Embassy Suites. We're in an Embassy Suites in Chicago, okay?
Yes.
And we are in like the suburbs of Chicago, not downtown. So
We're going to keep the specific Embassy Suites vague. But this is not
For
about
legal reasons.
This is not about Embassy Suites. Like we honestly,
no. It could have been any hotel.
But we genuinely love Embassy Suites.
It has nothing to do with the hotel, yeah.
No. But we're at Embassy Suites.
Yeah, and as you might know, if you've stayed at one, every room is a suite, right? So there's a separate living room, and then there's a door, and then you have your bedroom, okay?
That's how they got the name, Embassy Suites.
Oh my god. Okay, so
All right, that's it, guys. Have a good day.
we had a great room.
Wild, right?
Bye.
No.
Okay, so we're sitting in the living room area of the room.
It's late at night.
It's 11 p.m. We're watching our show.
Oh no! Why don't you tell them what show we were
No, I don't
watching?
want to talk.
I heard you stutter over that. I know that you're.
I was thinking, I was like, what were we watching? And then I remembered, and I pivoted to like just not.
Hey, we should take a 1 second detour
Okay, you want to
here.
know what we were watching? We were watching the finale, and it was overshadowed by what's about to happen. It's a shame. We're watching the finale of The Secret Life of the American Teenager, which I was rewatching for fun, and Shane jumped in because he saw how ridiculous it is and got hooked.
Yeah, there's more nuance than that.
It went on longer than you.
I was dragged into it. I did acknowledge this show is the wildest thing I've ever seen. And then it went on for about 3 months. That's actually why we haven't been posting videos. Hannah's been making me watch The Secret Life.
It was a commitment, and we finally finished it. But we finished it on this night, and as we finished it, I was like closing the laptop.
We're getting sleepy.
We're like, it's a big moment that we finished it. It was moving, and I look up from the laptop ready to be like, so what do you think? Like, wow, we finally finished it after 3 months, and I see something.
And Hannah says to me, I am not facing the bedroom.
I'm like overheating, sorry.
Okay, are we going to tell this or are you going to keep?
No, go ahead.
We're leaving it all in.
Okay, go ahead.
This video is called Hannah Takes Your Clothes Off while we tell a story.
Go ahead. I have a red spot.
But Hannah's looking at the bedroom, and I am facing away from the bedroom, and Hannah says to me, Shane, there's something in our bedroom. Which is horrifying. But I wasn't like scared because, I know where the door is. Like, no one came into the room.
But I saw something move by, and I look again. The door is ajar, probably like a foot open, and I look, and right around the room
And
goes.
Hannah's face does this.
Yeah. Want to guess?
And
what's
I'm
in
going,
there?
what?
Yeah, you're like turning, and I'm like, oh no, it was a bat. It was a bat, a large bat. Probably when it was flying, it was about this big.
Hannah says there's a large bat flying around our bedroom. The bedrooms are not huge, so I'm trying to imagine, still can't see, what she is seeing. And at first, I didn't believe her. I was like,
No, there's
it's
not.
probably a big mosquito or like a big insect. Like, it's probably not.
At first I thought it was a bird. Like I was like, there's a bird in our room. And then I realized it was like silent and flappy. And I was like, that's a bat.
So there was a bat flying around our hotel room, and it dawns on us when we got there. We were on a high floor.
With a top floor, floor 7.
We opened our window because it was like a hot, nice day. We wanted some fresh air. Never considering the fact.
The windows didn't open far because we're on the 7th floor. So safety feature, they opened 4 inches. 4 inches. So how in the world did this bat, did it streamline in through our window?
That's a hallway for a bat. Like, they can get tiny.
But he didn't want to be in the room. The bat didn't want to be in the room. It was desperate to get out.
Yes.
So I need to give a little bit of backstory here because what happens next.
Taylor comes from a family of bats.
Yeah, you see my genealogical. No, okay, so when I was in college, there was a bat that got into the office that I worked in. And
oh, this is sad.
Yeah, but it colors what happens next.
Yes, it does.
They had to call pest control because I, as a student, was not allowed to try to physically remove the bat myself. And the pest control man killed the bat in front of me for no reason.
Which was very traumatizing.
Yes,
for him.
I still have problems with it 10 years later. So that happened to me. And so what happened next was I said to Shane, I will not tell anyone that there's a bat in our room. That's not going to happen.
Which is fine. I knew the backstory.
Yeah.
I understood the trauma.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not letting that bat
But-
get squished.
To me, that felt like we were about to sleep in a room with a bat in it. I was like, you can't capture a bat. So I was like, well, I know that you don't want to tell anyone, Hannah, and I love you so much.
You were like, we'll just get another hotel, like pack up our stuff.
That was my option.
And we'll move.
Because I'm not sleeping in a room with a bat.
No, we couldn't. I wasn't advocating for that.
And we were talking about, like, first, Hannah closed the bedroom door.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. While we were discussing our options, bedroom door was closed.
The bat was in the room.
Bat was contained in the bedroom.
Yeah.
We were hoping it would just fly out the window.
Yeah.
And then all would be fine. But it didn't. We were talking about the fact, and you doing, the rabies, like, prevalence in bats.
Because I know that you're not supposed to be bitten by a bat. Obviously.
And that, like, you can kind of be bitten without even realizing it.
You always hear that like, if you're in a room with a bat, you could be bitten by the bat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you
I
have to
find
get
that questionable.
you have to get rabies stuff because, like, if you're bitten, you might not know it, and then you get rabies, blah, 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 blah.
But I realized, and that we're kind of skipping ahead here, but I realized that, like, the bitten by a bat without knowing it thing doesn't mean that, like, you don't even see or feel the bat, but, like, it bit you somehow. Like, I think it means that if a bat lands on you, it might not hurt, but, like, it might have bitten you and there's no mark and you have rabies.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that, like, a bat could be 6 feet away from you and, like, bite you, you know? Like, that's what I was just like, oh my God, like, if you're anywhere near a bat, like, you have rabies. Like, that's kind of what I thought. And then Googling it, only 1% of bats even carry rabies. So I was like,
that made us feel a little better.
This is overblown.
But the fact remains, we were not sleeping in that bedroom.
Oh, God,
with
no.
a bat in it, and it was so late, we were not packing up and moving hotels.
And I also didn't want to leave the bat in the room. It was frantic. And I was like, if we go to a different hotel, this poor bat is just going to be, like, smashing into the walls all night trying to get out. I felt terrible for it.
So we're stuck between a rock and a bat.
So you know what I did? I put on all my clothes. I put on a sweatshirt. I tightened up my hood, left out my eyes.
I'm gonna just do some, like, action movie music.
Yeah.
Imagine, like, the main character getting ready to go to battle.
Yeah. I'm putting on my pants and my sweatshirt. And then I grab, it's kind of distracting me.
I can't do that.
I grabbed a tool, okay? I got a hanger.
Baseball bat.
Got a hanger because the bat, first I was like, if I just go into the room, maybe the window is the opposite of me. So I was like, if I go in, the bat will just go to the window.
And if you remember, you did go in sans weapon first.
Yes, I was like, oh, it'll just, like, see me and be like, oh, better go that way, and it'll just leave out where it came. I thought bats would know where it came from.
And I'm sorry. I'm in the other room because we didn't want to, like, there's no reason for me to put myself at risk. I'm not going to help in there. So, like, Hannah pops in the door, closes it behind her, covered in all her clothes. So I hear nothing. I'm waiting, I'm listening. I hear some screams, like, oh. And then over and over, I'm like, you dead? You bitten? Don't come out here
I
if
was
you're bitten.
really on edge. The bat was not near me, but I was like, ooh, ooh. The bat did not know how it came. At one point, it landed on the curtain, and if it had just flown to the right, it would have gone right out the window, but it flew back in. Like, it was an idiot. The bat was not smart at all. So at that point, I was like, okay, this is going to be a problem because the bat, it didn't even sense the fresh air.
So she comes back out the door, slams it behind her.
And it landed, but it landed up on the crack between the ceiling and the wall, and it was tall, and I could not reach it. And I wasn't going to, pick it up? Like, I couldn't reach it.
So she comes back, slams the door behind her. She's panting. I'm like, did you get it? No. Failure. And she was in there for a solid 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like a good amount of time. I was considering calling the front desk to let them know that my wife had been taken
by a
bat. She gets her weapon. And
I got the hanger.
It's a tool.
A tool. I got the hanger and I covered it in a towel so it would be soft. And then I grabbed another towel and I needed 2 hands to hold the hanger because it's heavy.
She made a sheath.
I covered my whole arm.
Yep.
So I'm covered in towel so that if the bat flies at me, it'll just whack into the towel. Like, I just didn't want to make contact with
And
that.
again, your head was covered in a hood.
Yeah.
Pulled tight around your face.
Yeah, the bat was not going to get me.
Long pants, long sleeves.
And I'm covered in towel. My hands are covered. So I go up to the bat. The bat hates my hanger. But I think at this point it was tired. Like, it wasn't flying away, but it was on the wall.
And explain what you were doing. You were gently...
I was trying to get it onto the hanger. So I was like, come on, like, lift up your foot. Like, look at my nice hanger. Step onto this towel.
And Hannah speaks bat, so that helped. She doesn't speak bat. She tried to speak bat.
No, okay, so I'm doing that. I'm sweating because I'm hot in all my clothes. My hands are above my head holding like 25 pounds of towel. And this bat, it was heavy. It was probably...
It was a pound.
It was a pound, but it was so heavy. It was so heavy. So the bat did not want to get on my hanger, and it started to shake. It was quivering, and then I started to sob because I felt so bad.
And I hear Hannah begin to cry audibly in the other room, and I'm like, babe, like, what is happening? And she's not like yelling back to me because she doesn't want to scare the bat more by yelling.
Ears.
So it's silent other than sobbing. And I'm like, what is happening? Are you alive? Are you bitten? Are you down? What am I doing? It's also been like 45 minutes. I'm not kidding you. It's gone on for so long. 45
minutes. Okay, so the bat, it's a failure. It finally, I disturb it enough that it flies away. And I'm like, oh.
Again, you're sobbing because you feel bad.
I felt so bad. I was scaring it. It was quivering out of fear. I was like, oh my God, it looks like Chloe during fireworks, like so upset. It lands on the top of the curtain rod, and it's like under this overhang of wall. They had this weird like wall that came down. So now to get to the bat, I have to be directly under it, and I'm like, God.
This video ends with Hannah getting rabies, by the way.
Okay, so I'm like, I have to get this bat out of the room, but it was on the curtain, and it was about 4 feet to the left of the open 4 inches. So I'm like, this is better. Like, we're close.
Batter.
It was a little bit batter. And I decided that my new strategy was going to be assimilating the bat to assimilating my hanger into the bat's environment. And I was going to try to make my hanger a neutral part of the environment. Like, forget about me. This hanger is just here. It's always been here. So I'm holding this thing above my head.
She was nice enough to
Arms shaking.
She was nice enough to come back and whisper through the door, I'm going to try an assimilation technique. We're not going to be sleeping tonight. It's going to take forever.
Can't rush the assimilation technique. So I'm like, I'll just get the bat used to my hanger so it's not like prodding around it. Right. So I leave it there for a really long time. The bat's still trying to get away from me, but it kept trying to go behind the curtain. I was like, no, you're not doing that. Finally, long story short.
Well, long story long.
Long story long. The bat crawls onto my hanger.
The bat crawls on like a pet, like a friend of Hannah's. It climbs onto the hanger. Hannah gingerly brings it over to the window, and it flies away.
And it flew away.
Hannah saved the bat. Or maybe the bat saved Hannah.
We'll never know. We'll never know. But we got the bat out of the hotel room and did not have to call pest control.
The final thing I hear is Hannah going, I did it! I assimilated it! I befriended it.
And then the next hour was just me telling Shane like every second of my experience in there with the bat, like, and then it moved like this, and then it yawned, and then I thought, like, poor you having to listen.
It was a great story, and for the questions I had, hearing all the sobbing and
why were you
screaming,
crying?
It was a rough night. We went to bed at like 4 a.m. No, all in all, I think it did take an hour.
It was about an hour
and a half, maybe.
A little more than an hour.
It was a process. But we did it. Hannah did it.
Yeah.
Hannah did it. I did nothing. And we didn't have to inform
You were
anyone.
supportive, and you didn't make me call. Like, you weren't like, no, you're not doing this. We have to call the front desk.
Yeah. So really, I'm the hero here. So I didn't require pest control.
It's all you.
But no, it's very brave and savvy of you.
Thank you.
To get it out.
Yeah, I wasn't ever afraid. I mean, I was a little afraid of getting rabies, but like, I'm not afraid of bats. But I was just like, I will not have another. And one of the reasons I didn't take any photos or videos of the bat, this is really ridiculous, is because in the moment I didn't think I was going to get the bat out of the room. Like, it was, I mean, it was at minute 50 and no progress. Like, it's not looking good. And I didn't want to have a photo of the bat that was going to get killed because I knew someone was going to kill it. So I was like, I can't like remember this bat. But now I wish I had. But
so that was our bat experience.
Yeah.
To all the comments from people telling us that we probably should get rabies shots.
No, you were never even within.
We promised you it didn't bite her.
It did not.
Came nowhere near her, and she was covered from head to toe.
Yeah, no, it wasn't near me at all, so it's fine. But
unless it returned in the night and bit it, we closed our window.
No, we left the window open. No, we closed the window, and we did not open it for the remaining 4 nights that we were there. Yeah. That never opened again.
Yeah. So, I have been feeling like I don't want to call them superpowers.
Wow.
Just like different.
Totally.
Like I can hear better.
I'm doing like.
I have no idea. See,
I'm doing like vampire teeth.
You want to be a bat so badly. All right, everyone.
Vampire. A vampire. You have good vampire teeth.
Okay. Have a good day.